Dad, Mom, do I really have to leave? I just called Grandpa and Granny, so they should be here to pick you up soon. We don't need an ugly girl like you. I'm sorry, but we don't want a daughter with no future. I don't remember giving birth to an ugly girl like you. My parents, who lavished all their love and attention on my beautiful older sister Sharon, had always been indifferent to me. And now, they were leaving the house, taking only Sharon with them. All that was left for me was the heartache of being abandoned by my own parents. It's okay, Laura, we'll guarantee your future. We'll make them eat their words. Believing in his reassuring words, I began my new life with Grandpa and Granny. There, my talent for acting blossomed like a beautiful flower in the spring. I grew and thrived, eventually landing the lead role in a popular drama. Long time no see, Laura. I've come to pick you up. Hey, what are you talking about? If you get involved with this girl any further, I'll call the authorities. My name is Laura, and I am now a popular actress, constantly appearing in dramas. I may be very successful now, living the life I always dreamed of, but the road to get here was paved with hardship and heartache. Of course, the countless hours of rehearsals I endured to become an actress were grueling, but even more painful than that was my childhood. I was born as the second daughter to my father, an employee, and my mother, a housewife. Sharon, let's go to the park and play together. Yeah. Let's go. My parents were normal, and Sharon was kind to me, so I think I had a really happy life until I was old enough to understand things. Sharon was so beautiful that even I could tell when I was young, and she was known in the neighborhood as the cute girl. My parents adored Sharon so much that I could tell they were raising her more affectionately than me, but I didn't have much of a problem with it because Sharon herself was kind to me. However, my relationship with Sharon also began to crumble around the time I entered elementary school. Sharon is going to dance class starting today, so she doesn't have time to go to the park. Besides, what if she gets hurt and scars her precious face? I'm sorry, but what's dance? I want to go too. Let's go together. Sharon is enough. It would be a waste of money for Laura to take dance lessons. I had just started elementary school, so I didn't really understand when they talked about money, and I wasn't that hurt yet, but gradually, restrictions were placed on the time I spent playing with Sharon and on my little actions, and my frustration grew. My only joy was going to the park with Sharon to play or playing house at home. Looking back now, I think I just enjoyed doing anything together with Sharon. Sharon, can't we go to the park today? It's Saturday, so let's go play. I'll get scolded by Dad and Mom. I'm sorry, but I don't have lessons today, so do you want to play the game they bought for us the other day? Yeah. Sharon was the only one who got to take lessons and receive gifts like video games. Even for birthdays and Christmas, I would only receive cheap presents. I once overheard my parents talking, and they made it clear that they only wanted to invest in Sharon, who was beautiful and had a promising future. It's true that I'm not as pretty as Sharon, and I'm not particularly good at studying either. But from the very beginning, I was disgusted by my parents who judged their own children based on appearances. Why don't you buy a game for Laura too? It's not fair if it's just for me. That girl is going to live an ordinary life, so she doesn't have time for games. She should just focus on studying for her future. She's not a special child like you, so it's fine if she just gets into an average college and finds a normal job. But you're special, Sharon. You need to practice dancing and singing from now on to enter the entertainment industry in the future, and we want to raise you stress-free. Sharon also felt uneasy about being the only one favorite in our family, and she would always apologize to me, but it wasn't Sharon's fault, so I never blamed her. I tried to be patient and maintain a good relationship with Sharon, and I didn't rebel against my parents. Gradually, my parents began to neglect me completely, and even when I got perfect scores on tests or won first place in races, they wouldn't acknowledge me. "Hey, could you sign my report card?" "What's this? You can't even get all A's? How worthless." "Seriously, you're not even good looking, and you can't study well either. What redeeming qualities do you have?" They didn't have to say such things. I may not be perfect, but I've been working hard to get decent grades. And Sharon's grades are actually worse than mine. It's true that I'm not as pretty as Sharon, but why won't they even look at me? I knew what my parents were thinking, and I thought I understood it from a young age, but as I grew up, I began to feel immense stress, and gradually, my interactions with Sharon decreased as well. Looking back, maybe I was jealous of Sharon for getting attention from our parents. Don't worry about what Dad and Mom say. You have your own strengths. You don't understand how I feel, Sharon. Sharon was always kind to me, but the kinder she was, the more miserable I felt about myself. Then one day, "Mom, I got the lead role in the school play. So I want you to buy me the costume." There's no way we have money for that. We don't spend a penny on useless things. A lot of parents will come to watch the performance. I'll be acting in front of the entire grade. Even if you do that, it won't help your future at all. So I told you we're not paying for unnecessary expenses. If you really want to do it, why don't you ask Grandpa and Granny? I asked Dad the same thing afterward, but he gave me a similar answer as Mom. I guess I really don't matter to my parents at all. Yeah, maybe it's about time I understand that. Ever since I was little, I never got any toys or games, and even my clothes and shoes were hand-me-downs from Sharon. I thought I understood the disparity between us as sisters, but I guess I was still holding out hope for my parents' affection. But there's no point in doing that anymore. From that moment on, I stopped thinking of my parents as my real parents. Grandpa, Granny, it's been a while. Grandpa and Granny didn't live too far away, but it took about an hour by bicycle to reach their house. I usually didn't go because of the distance, but that day, I headed to their place without saying a word to anyone. My parents didn't care about me at all, and I couldn't rely on Sharon either. At that time, Grandpa and Granny were the only ones I had left. "Oh my, what brings you here so suddenly?" "I'm sorry. Was it troublesome of me to come without even calling?" "Not at all, dear. We're so happy you came to visit us." "Come on in, sweetheart." Grandpa and Granny were so kind to me, even though I had shown up unexpectedly. I explained my current situation to them and hesitantly asked if they could somehow pay for my stage costume. I wondered if it was too selfish of me to ask Grandpa and Granny, whom I didn't have a particularly close relationship with, to pay for something I needed. But to my surprise and relief, they agreed without any hesitation. Thank goodness. I was truly grateful. Now I could play the lead role in the play. They were thrilled that I was going to be acting, and they listened to me with smiles on their faces that I had never seen from my parents. I felt a kind of happiness that I had never experienced before in my life, and I couldn't help but smile from the bottom of my heart. I love acting. I used to watch a lot of dramas and try to imitate them. Then everyone told me I was good at acting, and I got the lead role. Is that so? That's amazing. Why don't you show us a little bit right here? Of course. Grandpa and Granny praised my acting skills, and I was truly satisfied. Because my parents never acknowledged me, being recognized by Grandpa filled my heart with a deep sense of fulfillment. I was happy. It was such a pure and genuine feeling. An emotion I hadn't felt from my parents in a long, long time. From then on, whenever I had a day off, I would go to Grandpa and Granny's house to spend time with them. The round trip of an hour each way by bicycle was quite tough, but my parents never noticed where I went on my days off anyway. It was far better to be with Grandpa and Granny, who treated me like their real granddaughter, than to be with my parents who treated me like I was invisible. Moreover, Grandpa even gave me acting lessons. Thanks to what Grandpa taught me the other day, my teacher also praised me for improving my acting skills. Is that so? That's wonderful. You know, Grandpa used to be a stage actor. Apparently, he had been active mainly in theater, not in dramas or movies, so I couldn't watch any of his works, but it turned out that Grandpa had experience in acting. That's why, thanks to Grandpa's guidance, my acting skills were rapidly improving, and even on the day of the school performance, there was a standing ovation. Grandpa and Granny, were you watching? I did it. I made it through. I whispered those words in my heart. I was truly happy and filled with gratitude towards Grandpa, but the only thing that left me feeling a little regretful was that my parents weren't there. I hadn't expected anything from my parents, and I didn't even want them to come, but still, I had Grandpa, Granny, and my acting. They're planning to gather the local children and put on a play of an old folk tale. Would you like to participate? Yes. Grandpa not only let me participate in school events, but also in small community plays, going above and beyond to make up for everything my parents never did for me. I realized that I too had a reason for existing. When I was with Grandpa and Granny, my heart felt fulfilled. Those feelings began to blossom within me. My parents were too busy overprotecting the growing Sharon to even notice what I was doing. One day, while living in such an environment, I became a first-year student in junior high school. I'm home. You're quite late. We have something important to discuss with you, so take a seat. Usually, they wouldn't even say welcome back when I came home. Well, even today, they didn't really return my greeting, but what could this important talk be about? Unlike Sharon, who went to a private school, I was forced to attend a public school without any say in the matter. They wouldn't even let me join any clubs, so I couldn't imagine what important talk they could have for me now. I did as I was told and took a seat in the living room. What's this talk about? From now on, you'll be living with Grandpa and Granny. We know you go there every time you have a day off. What? We're moving closer to a talent agency, and we'll be spending more and more money, so even the bare minimum expenses for your food and such are a waste. Are you kidding me? This is nothing short of child abandonment. They may not have showered me with much affection, but don't they have at least the bare minimum responsibility as parents? Pushing everything onto Grandpa and Granny is absolutely unacceptable. Of course, for me, living with Grandpa and Granny would certainly be better than living with these parents. However, at the same time, Granny is also a precious existence to me, and I don't want to cause them any trouble. If you do that, it'll be a burden on Grandpa and Granny. It's not like I'm being selfish and demanding this or that. This has already been decided. Besides, those people will be thrilled to have you living with them. But we're moving this Saturday, so you better pack your things too. With that, Dad returned to his room. The conversation wasn't even over yet. My father just said what he wanted to say and ended the discussion. It was beyond selfish, but it seemed like he was serious. They no longer have any intention of raising me. It was essentially the same as being abandoned by my parents. Even though I knew my parents didn't need me, actually being treated like this, my heart was deeply wounded. How could they do something so cruel? I thought that, but there was no way I could understand the feelings of such people even if I tried. And then the day arrived. Dad, Mom, do I really have to leave? I just called Grandpa and Granny, so they should be here to pick you up soon. We don't need an ugly girl like you. I'm sorry, but we don't want a daughter with no future. I don't remember giving birth to an ugly girl like you. Only Sharon kept her head down until the very end, but my parents said those words to me with disgusting smirks on their faces. My heart, which was already wounded, had reached a level of being completely beyond repair. But there was no way my parents would notice that, and they just left. Left alone in front of the house, I sat down and desperately tried to accept reality. It's okay. I have Grandpa and Granny. I tried to think that way, but the pain in my heart didn't go away at all. They came by car, so in less than 30 minutes, Grandpa and Granny arrived, and the moment I saw them, something inside me snapped, and I started crying and screaming. Dad and Mom hate me. They said they have no use for an ugly girl. Mom said she doesn't remember giving birth to me. It's all right, we're here for you. Those bastards, they're not family. You're our precious daughter, forget about those scum. They said and took me to their home. According to what I heard in the car, it seemed that Grandpa and Granny were also told by Dad this morning to take care of me. Currently, even if we try to contact them, there's no response, and we don't know where they moved to. But Grandpa and Granny said we should cut ties with them like this. That's right, those two abandoned me. They're not family anymore. I'll enjoy my new life with Grandpa and Granny. I told myself in order to somehow maintain my sanity, and my life with Grandpa and Granny began. Grandpa, Granny. I got the lead role again. At first, I had a series of mentally unstable days, but as I received unconditional love from Grandpa and Granny, I gradually recovered emotionally. At Grandpa's suggestion, I started attending an acting school, where my talent also blossomed. Winning the lead role in big stage productions, every day was fulfilling. By this time, I had already forgotten about the people who had abandoned me, and I was able to enjoy my current life from the bottom of my heart. That's amazing. As expected, you have my blood running through your veins. Your talent as an actress is starting to bud. If this keeps up, you might become a representative actress of America in the future, or something like that. I really think that will happen. In 5 years, your life will definitely change. At that time, I didn't really believe it, and I wasn't taking Grandpa's words seriously. Sure, I might have had more acting talent than others, but I never thought I could become an actress. The world couldn't be that sweet, and more than anything, due to my environment since I was little, I had no confidence in myself. I'm just bound to fail anyway. I think that thought was somewhere in my heart. However, contrary to my own thoughts, in the year I entered high school, I was scouted. It was just a supporting role in a small drama, but this was the start of my life as an actress. More. The sadness isn't in the depths of your eyes. When a person is truly sad, they don't make that kind of expression. Yes. As I started my career as an actress, I spent every day in fierce training with Grandpa. Grandpa was usually kind, but when it came to acting, he would strictly instruct me one-on-one, and thanks to that, I succeeded in steadily raising my evaluation as an actress. Then one day, while I was living like that, a new drama started filming, and I was leading a dizzying daily life. Grandpa's training was as tough as ever, but I was happy that my acting skills were being recognized more and more. On that day, I was getting ready to go to the studio for special training with Grandpa, when suddenly the doorbell rang. Yes, huh? Why? Hey! Long time no see. I saw your drama. You've grown quite a bit. Seeing my parents for the first time in 5 years, I was stunned. Why are my parents here? We hadn't moved, so they must have known where I lived, but What on earth is happening? They had abandoned me, but now they were smiling at me as if nothing had happened, as if they were mocking me. Don't mess with me, what business do they have with me? Trauma, fear, and anger towards them welled up inside me, but I felt a pat on my shoulder from behind, bringing me back to my senses. What business do you have here? I thought we had cut ties with you too. Don't say that, Dad. We came to see our cute daughter, so don't make such a scary face. It's been 5 years since we last saw each other. What are they talking about? They came to see their cute daughter. Stop telling such blatant lies. You've never called me cute, and I have no memory of ever receiving love from you. Love, money, time. You gave everything to Sharon, and now you show up out of nowhere? I don't understand. Why are you here? You're playing the lead role in that popular drama, right? We watched the episode that aired the other day and were surprised. Isn't that amazing? Listen. Despite all the money we invested in Sharon, she said she's quitting the entertainment industry and ran away from home. Since she's gone too, we came to pick you up. I see. So that's how it is. What they showered Sharon with wasn't love or anything like that. It was just an investment in her future. Sharon was someone who could enter the entertainment industry and make money. That's why they spared no expense when it came to her. And now that their investment has failed, they've shifted their target to me. Since I'm thriving as an actress, I must be making money too, and I can support their lifestyle. They came to pick me up to use me as a tool like that. They're underestimating me too much. I'm not your tool, and I have no intention of letting you use me as you please. You seem to be mistaken, but who do you think is going to give you money? Sure, I'm making a decent amount as a lead actress, but I have no intention of spending a penny on people who aren't my family. What? Even Sharon must have realized that she wasn't receiving love, but was just seen as a money-making tool, right? This is the retribution for treating your own children not as children, but as tools. Since I was little, I had never rebelled against my parents and had accepted the disparity with Sharon. To my parents, I think I was a convenient existence who would do whatever they said. That's why they thought they could use me like this without any apology. But it's been 5 years since then, and do they think I haven't changed at all? If so, they're dead wrong. Wait a minute. I raised you. How can you say such horrible things to your birth mother? It's because of our education that your talent for acting blossomed, isn't it? Stop messing around. You abandoned me, and now you're saying this? If you come any closer, I'll call the media or whoever I need to. If I expose the past you two have created, you'll be finished socially. If you don't want that, then disappear. When Grandpa said that, the two of them turned pale and fled as if they were running away. I never thought I would be reunited with my parents in this way, but unlike 5 years ago, being able to express my feelings like this is thanks to Grandpa and Granny opening up my closed heart. I felt a renewed sense of gratitude towards Grandpa and Granny, and I think it was good that I could part ways with my parents again like this. After that, I decided to switch gears and focus on my acting career. The drama eventually became a huge hit in America, and I quickly rose to fame as a well-known actress. Grandpa and Granny were genuinely happy for my success. Congratulations! It was a truly amazing drama. Thank you. It's all thanks to you, Grandpa and Granny. Everything is the result of your hard work. We're so proud to call you our daughter. Even after the filming for the drama ended, I had no time for a break as my schedule was packed with the next project. My plan to take Grandpa and Granny on a trip, which I had been considering for a while, seemed unlikely to happen anytime soon. But I decided that from now on, I would show my gratitude to Grandpa and Granny through my achievements as an actress. And it wasn't just my acting career that was progressing, but there were also some developments regarding my parents and Sharon. Apparently, Sharon had contacted Grandpa and Granny, saying that she wanted to talk to me. The person who had always been by my side since I was little. I wondered what she was doing now. That thought suddenly crossed my mind when I heard about Sharon from Grandpa and Granny. Until the very end, Sharon had been on my side, and the fact is that I had pushed her away unilaterally. I wanted to apologize for that, so I decided to meet with Sharon. Long time no see. How have you been? I'm fine, but what about you, Sharon? Over the past 5 years, Sharon had become considerably thinner, and it was clear that she wasn't living a good life. From what I heard, after moving, the excessive expectations from our parents had caused Sharon to have a mental breakdown. Eventually, she ran away from our parents and started living on her own. Now she's working as an office worker at a small company while managing her life. Our parents had invested in Sharon to the point of going into debt, so now they're struggling to pay it back. That's probably why they tried to rely on me. I see. You've been through a lot too, Sharon. It's nothing compared to what you've been through. But I'm happy to see my cute little sister being so successful. Keep working hard as an actress. I'll always be rooting for you. Those words from Sharon made me so happy that I naturally started to tear up. I had pushed away Sharon, who had always been kind to me, and now she was living a miserable life, unlike me. But even at the very end, she still called me her cute little sister. Currently, I'm able to make more money than Sharon, and I could provide her with financial assistance. However, that's not what I should do. She had escaped from those toxic parents and is living an independent life, so supporting her in that is what I should do now. If you ever need any help, just let me know. You can talk to me about anything. Hearing you say that really helps. But I'm satisfied with my life now, so don't worry. If those parents ever find out where you are and try to do something, contact me right away. I will. Since then, I've been in regular contact with Sharon, and even now, we go out for meals once a month. We were born to the same parents, but lived lives that could be described as polar opposites. However, we both suffered constantly because of those parents. Only we, as sisters, can understand that pain, and I want us to continue supporting each other in life. By the way, according to Sharon, after that incident, our parents filed for bankruptcy and are now living a difficult life. What about work? Dad quit his job around the time I graduated from high school. He said something about supporting me. I think he probably thought that if I became successful, he wouldn't need to work. I see. So in the end, they had no jobs and only debt left, which led to bankruptcy. It's their own fault. The two of them ended up getting divorced because of that, and now they're both living single lives without money, but no matter how successful I become, I have no intention of helping them. Because that's what they did to us sisters. By the way, I'm still living with Grandpa and Granny and enjoying my life every day. Sharon, who always thought about me no matter what, and Grandpa and Granny, who continued to support me by my side. I cherish these 3 family members and plan to continue being grateful to them for the rest of my life.